So the BET Awards has always been something that I've just really never been interested in for numerous reasons. I mean, there's always been this, I think, false advertising that kind of takes place there where everyone is there, they're like disguised as something, but it's not really the real thing. And the one thing that I do not like about it is that it seems like BET, that whole network, it seems like they, when it comes to their award ceremonies or any gathering they do, they try to include God and they want to include God into it. But it's like all year, you guys have no reverence for God. All year, you guys are, indulging in debaucherous acts and just some of the most terrible things you could probably ever see. But then when we have these ceremonies and we have these awards, now you guys want to say, let's have praise and worship. Now, and then you bring in Kirk Franklin. Like, I want to watch this clip where it was broken down. The performance that Will Smith did at the BET Awards, where he had Kirk Franklin come in and join him. I guess Will Smith hasn't given up his career of wanting to be a rapper. We're not going to have any audio on this thing, but there is going to be a descriptive narrative on top of it explaining exactly what you'll see and what was taking place, because this thing here that was going on during the BET Awards, the performance that Will Smith did, along with Kirk Franklin and honestly some other people that were there as well, it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way, and I didn't want to say anything about it, but then I stumbled across this clip that really broke it down exactly what I was thinking, and I want you to check it out too. So let's get into this.
Now I know this might confuse you, as Will Smith was supposedly singing about God and even brought out gospel singer Kirk Franklin. You might be saying right around now, there is no way this performance could have been a ritual. They were rapping and singing about God, but the imagery they showed during the performance tells us otherwise. While Will Smith was rapping about God, which he didn't specify which God, we can see that he is once again inside of a magical circle created with flames. This is the first red flag, as God forbids all forms of magic, and this is already indicating this ceremonial ritual. On top of this, behind Will Smith, we see a massive red moon rising, which again ties back to the occult, as many occultists practice moon magic. The red moon actually represents a rebirth in the occult and is often used during these occult rituals. None of this imagery correlates with a message about the one true God. This is because Will Smith wasn't dedicating this performance to the same God we worship. How do I know this? Well, because Will Smith is an occultist who is actually a part of the Church of Scientology. It is common knowledge Will Smith and his wife are members of the Church of Scientology. Even though they deny being affiliated with the organization, they have been seen at many Church of Scientology events. He also recently got caught for creating a school for kids that taught them all about Scientology in their curriculum. The school was literally labeled a Scientology school, and that is against the rules. The first thing to note about this is that the Church of Scientology doesn't believe in the God us normal people worship. They actually don't believe in God at all, as they teach that people are their own God.
Really, the basis of Scientology, which is rather hidden and covered over, is the occult, the deep involvement with satanic powers that he felt that he was deeply involved with a British black magician called Aleister Crowley, and through putting himself in deep hypnotic trance and the use of drugs on himself, he wanted to become the most powerful.
Scientology is an occult group that practices ritual magic. Will Smith is a part of the Church of Scientology. He is not a Christian.
My thing is, great information there. And stay away from the Church of Scientology. I don't know if anyone's told you that. I think it really is obvious, but if it's not, stay away from them. But beyond that good information we just heard, I have a message for my people, for black people. I want black people, the community, to stop looking at church, to stop looking at Christ, to stop looking at Christianity as though it is a part of our history, as though it is a cultural thing. Because when we behave in a way where it's a cultural thing, this is what you get. You get these scary, weird performances where there's always some sort of, dark imagery. There is, like they're saying, some sort of ritualistic thing take. So it's like, are you guys in the middle of performing a ritual? Also, people have different beliefs in other gods, although that we believe here and we confess proudly that there is only one and true living God, that's Jesus Christ. But people are worshiping other gods. People have made other idols. So, yeah, when these people are talking about God and these people are explaining God, are you really talking about the one and only true Savior, Jesus Christ? Most likely, I would say they're not. But this is a cultural response because they get all the people of color together. And it's like, oh, since we're coming together and we're all wearing our Sunday's best, we're all dressed up, we're all, you know, wined and dined to the nines. So now let's come together and then we're just going to get some Christian, let's get some gospel in here because, ooh, this is taking me back to my roots. Why does it always got to take you back to your roots? Why isn't it just meeting you currently in your current space because you already have an active relationship with Christ? And it's genuine. Like I said, it's not this cultural thing where you think that just because you are a person of color, this is what you do. No, absolutely not. Most of these people don't even know God for themselves because if they did, they wouldn't even be doing or allowing themselves to be involved in half of the things that they are involved in on a daily basis. I never trusted these things. And the scary part about this for me is that at the BET Awards this year, you saw a lot more content creators, a lot more influencers. So you had your A-list celebrities that are typically always there, but then this year you saw a huge, influx of content creators, everyday content creators, influencers on different platforms, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, just different influencers. And it's just interesting to see that how it just seemed to me that I didn't enjoy to see what I thought was innocent people, innocent everyday content creators, people of color getting lost in the sauce, if you will, and joining in these things. Because if you ask me, they couldn't be, they get Kirk Franklin to come in and do a piece. It's a lot similar to how they'll have Maverick City Music and all these people where they're more performers than they are worshipers. They're providing good music as opposed to really opening the atmosphere for people to receive from the Lord. And I'm not saying that they're terrible people, no, because it is very easy to get lost in the sauce in any situation. It's very easy to have that amount of fame that they have and receive it in a way that will cause you to start to perform instead of worship. So it makes sense to me. But it's like, I feel that if you guys really are going to have worship at these events, if you're really going to try to add God to the mix, number one, don't do it in such a lukewarm way. Don't just add him there as something that's just a little part of the program and you guys continue services as usual. It's like, honestly, man, I'm going to just keep it real. The reason why my whole life I've never been down with BET, ever. And as I've gotten older, I've realized that while when I was younger, not liking BET, not accepting any of the stuff that they put in front of black people's faces, I was called names, I was called out, I was called an Uncle Tom, an Uncle Sam, all those things. And that's not true. Because as I've gotten older, I've realized that, bro, this stuff is just distraction. And it's foolery. It's foolery. It's not real. This is not sincere. But like I said, black people have been lost in the fact that they think Christianity is our historical culture. But it's not. Christianity is open for the entire world. Jesus is available for the entire world. He's open for everyone, not just black people. So when BET starts doing these ritualistic looking things, when they start performing in blasphemous ways, when they're showing up and dressed in provocative clothing, sometimes professionally made by other idols that they worship. There's so many different gods, if you will, lowercase g's, in that room, in these arenas. But it's okay. We'll just distract the black people that we're trying to feed this information to, that we're trying to feed this disgusting stuff to. We'll distract them by just adding people like Kirk Franklin, people that they can quote unquote trust because they've been in the community. They've been a part of the Christian community. They've been a part of real gospel for such a long time. So let's throw these people in there, and then we have worship. So now people are like, oh yeah, ooh, it's so good, they like God. There was worship there, so it was okay. There was worship there, so it was okay. Don't be fooled. Don't be so easily fooled. And that's the problem with the black community, is that it is one of the communities that is the most easiest community to fool. It's too easy. You got to be careful with this stuff, man. Like I said, I've never been down for the BET. The platform in general, the awards, the ceremonies, whatever, I just never been down for it. Ever. And when these things come out and they start trending and they getting pushed all over the algorithm and all over the internet, I start to look and I see, and all it does is just furthermore confirm to me why I never enjoyed, why I never subscribed to that. Something to think about, man. But be careful with this stuff. These celebrities, these A-list celebrities, they typically don't have good intention. Their only intention is selfishness, because they want to stay in the limelight. They want to stay relevant. They want to stay popular, stay famous, stay rich. Got to protect yourselves, guys. It's serious out here. I know people always try to say that this is no big deal, and you Christians, you're taking it too serious. You're always looking too deep into it, bro. It's not that deep. It's not that deep. To each their own, man. But you heard it here first. Stay away from this stuff, and definitely guard your heart from all of that stuff, because it's serious. That's all I got, guys. To the next one. I'm out.